We all have critics. However, if you're a woman working with men, and especially if you're in one of their jobs, you can expect to have critics who want to see you booted out of your job. I faced this situation all through my career, so I learned not only how to deal with my critics, but how to shut them down for good. We first need to understand that our critic likes being a critic. And as Teddy Roosevelt pointed out in his speech, The Man in the Arena, the critic doesn't want to be in the arena. He doesn't want to do the work, and he certainly doesn't want the responsibility or accountability of having to get things done. He just wants to sit on the sidelines with the power to criticize and critique without any consequences. When we're faced with a vocal critic, we have to set aside our ego and stop fighting with him. We have to stop trying to prove our worth. Instead, we're going to give him exactly what he wants, so we can then give him what he doesn't want. We're going to step aside and let him do our job. In other words, we shove his butt into the arena. After all, since he knows so much about what needs to get done and how it should get done, who better to do the job? Who better to shoulder all the responsibility for getting things done and hold accountable for what is and isn't accomplished? We force our critic to make a hard choice. Either he takes over the job and proves that he can do it better than us, in which case we acknowledge that he's the best person for the job. Or he starts squirming, coming up with excuses as to why he can't take over the job. And the more excuses he comes up with, the more he admits that he's just a big mouth who doesn't have the courage to back up what he says. So as he slinks out of the arena, he discredits himself. There were times in my career when my critic actually wanted my job and got it. However, he didn't want the work that came with the job and still expected me to do all the work. But as I told one young man, you wanted the job, you got it. And I left to go sit on the sidelines. Most of us don't deal properly with our critics because we're afraid to sit on the sidelines. We've been conditioned to believe that we have to prove that we're still capable of doing our job, otherwise we'll never be let back into the arena. But all we're really doing is empowering our critic. We do the work while he plays golf and collects bonuses. So if we want to take down our critic, then we have to sit on the sidelines and become a critic. However, we're a critic who knows how to get things done, so we can point out where the weak man stumbles and how the supposed doer of deeds could have done much better. We note that his face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood because he's incompetent and only capable of erring. So no matter how hard he strives, he'll come up short again and again. He's never spent himself in a worthy cause. He's never dared greatly. He's really just a cold and timid soul who has no place in the arena. His place is on the sidelines in obscurity. To shut down our critic, we have to give him the opportunity to fail. Give him the opportunity to prove that he doesn't know what he's talking about and doesn't have the skill set to do the job. Let him prove that he has absolutely no right to criticize or critique anyone. This is Dot Callahan asking you to help me turn the woman in the room into the women in the room. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can keep watching and sharing my videos. To learn more, follow The Woman in the Room on social media. And don't forget to check out my website to get advice from a woman who's been there, dealt with that, and knows what works.